a little bit more about chanting, the word, and the art and the meaning?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to talk about chants, even using language, because they're expressions of the spirit, they're expressions of the soul, and that's why I love to understand each meaning of each word, because if you understand that for yourself, then you can come up with your own translation, you know? And not only that, but each mantra is a medicine. And
there we go. I love that. Because when you said translation, I said the meaning of your own translation inside of the medicine in which it works on you individually.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. And so one word may be speaking to you on a particular day that really is awakening your internal consciousness. And it's good. It's good to...
Can you give us one example of a word?
Sure. I mean, you know, the word Waheguru, someday that just may be really the mantra that you need on that day. And to understand what it means and what it does, it's like all the more power to you. So, you know, Wa is the ecstatic bliss. He is the breath here and now. And Guru is from darkness to light. What Yogi Bhajan said about this chant is that he said Satnam is your back and Waheguru is your front, and it clears the way. It clears all negativity, because that Guru is the fire from darkness to light that burns through, you know, your difficult karmas, that burns through your resistances to being in a challenging situation, so that you can be present in healing. So it's, you know, that's just one word.
So Satnam is your backside, meaning your spine, or the backside of your being.
Everything. Your spine, the backside. It's what covers your back, and Waheguru is what clears the way. Because Satnam is truth. I am. So you have that stability of divine identity, and then Waheguru is what moves the waves. It's the what do they call the front part of the boat?
Yeah.
Front part of the boat. Nice.
That thing.
The stern or something?
The stern. You're talking to two yogis here. I don't know. Don't you just get in it and it takes you down the river?
Yeah.
With no dams?
Well, I should say maybe the Waheguru is to be more accurate are the oars.
Oh.
It's what moves.
Cool.
It's what moves the energy, because the Guru, you know, some people just want to bliss out and space out when they chant, but I got news for you.
Oh, good.
These chants are going to move stuff in you, and it's not going to make life particularly easier. It's going to move stuff, and there's from my experience, there's a calling forth of your consciousness, a calling forth and a testing, and a calling forth and a testing, and because it's moving you through these karmas, these past actions that have given us this sense of heaviness and unworthiness and self-doubt and all of these things, is moving us through that energy. It has to. And then we come out the other side in a sense of more wholeness and wellness. But as you chant, that's what it's doing. You know, it's not necessarily that you chant and you become happy.
Yeah.
You know, you chant and you work through through all of those resistances to that internal sense of well-being.
And that's the perfect example of why they don't want to block up the Ganga with dams and pollute it, the environment and our environment and our universal environment. Because once we start building more karma, we build more karma. The words we say to each other builds more karma. And what you're saying is we break down that karma with chanting, or we clean that karma on those records, and we become freer and freer. But at the same time, we have to face that for a second or two, or maybe 3, and let that just go away.
Or sometimes for hours.
For hours or days or maybe
whatever it takes,
months.
yeah.
And that's why we do 40-day meditations, 90-day meditations, 120-day meditations, and 1,000-day meditations, specifically from the technology. It shows that we break a habit, we establish a new habit, we integrate a new beginning, and then we can walk forward. But again, it's that pre-forgive. We have to go back to that pre-forgive, because that place of, we can't hold on to, oh, why did I do that? Darn it. And then we stay in that place, a victim.
Yeah.
And so, so all that technology, Buddhism, Hinduism, all these isms are all coming together with great knowledge, wisdom. For all of us. So read it all, I say.
Yeah.
Study it all.
Yeah, and create a daily practice, whatever your walk of life is. And because it's not just 1,000 days where it ends, but then it's every day, and then it's every moment. And
It is.
I'm not there yet, but I do have this sense of when I've done my morning practice, and then just go about my day, challenges, this, that, and the other, and then I may be like cleaning the bathroom, and it's in the afternoon, and all of a sudden one of the chants just comes through, and I know that I'm on my way. That the chants have permeated my being enough that it's coming out naturally. And the goal, my goal, and the idea is to have that vibration of chanting just permeate, and it is already on a subtle level within our heartbeat and within the vibration of the soul, but in this conscious mind to have it vibrate every single moment. So,
Is there another stage?
Well, the final stage is the 5th stage, and it's connecting with divinity and bringing your practice to a place of service. And I talk about this for people of all walks of life. So you can be Jewish and practice the sadhana, you can be Christian, you can be Buddhist, or Sikh, and as I am. And at the end of the practice, do something where you're connecting and bowing to something greater than yourself. So I talk about having an altar, and about bowing your head, bringing your head lower than your heart, so that you live from that place of the heart, and the head is there, but it's of service. And then taking a reading, and I take a reading from what's called the Siddhi Guru Granth Sahib, from the Sikh tradition, and just open it up to whatever page, and it speaks to me. It's alive. The idea is you could do that with the Bible, you could do that with the Quran, you could do that with the Torah, you could do it with your favorite book of poems, and you pray to God, you allow God to speak to you, and you open it up, and it's a way of creating this conversation with the divine. And I find for myself, I get little messages and guidances and little clues as to how to approach a day, and how to overcome the challenges that day is going to present. So that's the 5th and final stage.
That is so beautiful. You've integrated the whole practice.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, our humanese practice is integrated in this book.
Yeah.
The whole of it. I had a wonderful conversation with a great humorous filmmaker recently in Malibu, and he said, now you go and have a conversation with God. And I was like, yeah. And if we could all speak to each other like this, go have a conversation with God, and let me know how it goes. Or let yourself know how it goes. I think ultimately we can live in happiness. It is our birthright to live in happiness. And yeah, there are those we trip up on these stones, all the time, but they just give an opportunity to wake us up, right? And so with this practice and with your own practice, whatever it is, whether it's, you know, cooking in a cafe, or, you know, welcoming people in line at, you know, security at the airport, or whatever it is, may it all be a practice. May we always remember that we can always have a chime, a pendulum, an inner pendulum going back and forth. Can we, and what that takes is this book. It takes this practice to just enter that zone, enter that reality of who we are. And it's not superficial. It's deep.
Yeah.
And it's transformational, and it's worth the time.
Yeah. And some people, you know, the whole practice is 2.5 hours, and some people may not have that time.
Yeah.
And they need to start somewhere. We all need to start somewhere. And so I gave practice variations where one could do a 10-minute practice, or half-hour practice, or hour practice, or, you know, just, you know, start integration.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching. God bless.
Great. Wow, that would be really helpful for me.
That's going to be, it's my gift. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You do great.
Did we do